I have a question regarding, pardon me, the idea of preparing yourself for yourself in terms of diet, exercise, that sort of stuff. There's a part of me that says it's a good thing to practice that sort of thing, and there's a part of me that says it's not necessary. And I tend to lean towards the part that says it's not necessary.
Which part is that? Is that the lazy one then?
Oh, I'm sure. But there's another part that says it's not necessary. So I'm guilty of both.
Yes.
And sometimes there's confusion in my mind, and often it comes from a kind of a judgment, well, you should do this, and you should do that, and yes, you're being lazy. And other times it is irrelevant because I'm not this. I'm prior to this. And so it just doesn't seem to have any necessity.
Yes.
So it's kind of like two people with two different opinions. So then the confusion arises sometimes.
I understand. If you think of life as a game of football, football doesn't exist without rules. If you play by the rules, you have a very good game of football, and you have to learn to perfect your footwork. If we don't play the rules, then it's sloppy. So therefore, everything matters.
But sloppy is fun.
Yes, but sloppy doesn't make you happy. Can you run the microphone now? The one that says, yes, but I just want to have fun, is also sabotaging your effort. You will have more fun than you can possibly anticipate when you know who you are and when you're residing as you are. At the same time, there is some wisdom in what you're saying. Because if you are trying to do and following the should rule book, then you'll exhaust yourself. What feels right? You are your very own barometer. You know it. You know what's right and good without knowing how you know. When that earnest and sincere desire for truth is burning, the things that you once held on to sometimes just drop away. You don't have to make yourself stop drinking. Somehow just the desire isn't there in the same way. Don't worry about trying to do the right thing. How do you know goodness? Again, this is the knowing that you know without knowing how. This is wisdom. The only wisdom. Everything else is speculation. Okay. You can feel that instantly in your being. To reside as goodness, everything drops. All of your ideas drop in that knowing of goodness.
Would you describe that as conscience as well?
Yes. The conscience in the West has a layered aspect to it. We have a Christian ideology on top of it that's confused it. Nonetheless, at its core, that Christian ideology is speaking of innate goodness.
But it's also combined with a lot of judgment, isn't it?
Yes. So the same ideology has somehow got confused with judgment. But can you feel, when you hold that word judgment in your being right now, just feel the vibration of the word itself.
It's got a jarring kind of a feeling.
Okay, yes. Now hold the word discernment in your being. Is there any difference?
It's, I think discernment is more powerful.
Is it jarring in its power?
No, it's more balanced.
Okay.
It's empowering because it gives you the ability to make decisions.
Yes, so it would seem.
Whatever that means. To know, just to know.
Exactly. There you go. And when you know, you're not really making a decision. It's a knowing. A choiceless choice.
Sometimes I find myself just doing stuff that I never used to do. I think, my God, how did I do this? Because I've always wanted to, and now I'm doing it, and I have no idea why or how I made the decision. It just happened quite so.
The spontaneous arising from the being. Because the one that has an idea about something was not getting in the way. Obstacles melt when you reside as you are, as discernment. Goodness is discernment. It is what is right, and you know it. And therefore, within that, the more you bathe in goodness, which is synonymous with that sense of your own being, the more you bathe here, the more it just becomes evident what is right for this one at this time.
And then there's another part that interferes with that knowing. I know that I should know this, but...
Tell me about this part.
I think, to use a concept, it would be the saboteur. But it's kind of like a resistance.
Yeah.
And it's just bloody-mindedness.
The mind is terrified. Okay. The mind's job is to maintain control, to maintain its universe.
Poor little mind.
It's your gift back home.
Gift? What do you mean, gift?
Without this body mind, you would not be able to witness yourself.
Yeah.
All the layers of your story, all the details, when you're looking at them from here, you see their precision. How God is reminding you in every moment through this story of what you are beyond the story. And then, this idiosyncratic story is free to shine in all of its beauty. We're here to play the game. What a beautiful game it is. When you play it with precision, conscientiousness, when you honor it.
That's a good word, honouring it. I don't think I am familiar with that experience.
Can you put your hand here, your left hand, just in the centre of your chest? Okay. Just feel the touch there first of all. Now can you feel space between hand and chest? Right. Feel it spread. Feel the expansiveness of that space. Now let space look at me. What can you say about this view when you look from space?
I don't see a difference.
Okay, so now look at me actively from these eyes. And now bring your focus under your hand.
You are not going to believe this, but my mind is trying to find the right answer.
I will believe it. and we've hated it for many thousands of years, so now we're going to ask it and allow you to feel.
I feel soft.
Look at that. You felt soft. Everything dropped from your shoulders in a millisecond. Like boulders just collapsed from you. And then instantly the mind comes in to try and quantify, to try and understand and hold on, to rationalize your knowing, your feeling. You can't rationalize yourself. You can't rationalize soft. You can't know what is right until you are soft. And the paradox is that real strength, real self with a capital S confidence, arises from soft. And it's clear what to eat, what to do with this body, what not to eat, what not to do. It's obvious. There's no should about it. And what is correct for this one will not be the same for another one. The mind is so quick to make comparisons, say, oh, but so-and-so is doing this, so should I not do the same? No.
I get into this space from time to time, and then I leave, and then I have to come back again. And so this sort of experience is the practice, a daily or a weekly practice to return.
In every moment of every day, this is your practice. Use your daily existence. When you're speaking to the shop vendor, let softness speak.
I'm not too bad.
The self-defensiveness of the mind. You're not being told off. What a conversation will be had with that shopkeeper when you're speaking of softness. You will be speaking with yourself. For the rest of this day, and I'd love to hear back tomorrow what happens, let softness walk you down the stairs. Let softness walk you home. Let softness eat your lunch. See what unfolds. See what lunch you feel to eat from softness. And if it's chips, fine. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
How important is self-actualization once you've seen your larger purpose or your spiritual destination? How important is the seeds of your aspirations or your... How important is it realizing that, or is it possible to let that story be and pursue what you see as a spiritual path?
What is your greatest desire?
I'm a dancer. I think the moments dancing are magical moments of connectivity. But I feel that there's a lot more to be done in that area. A lot of unresolved issues around it.
In terms of dancing?
In terms of, in a sense, a performance is like it involves a lot of people. It's a moment of concentration where you can become a conduit, but you involves a lot of people.
Okay.
And if your equations with the world around you are not completely harmonious or whatever, then those moments get interrupted, or they get retarded. Or how important are they? I mean, how important is a desire or an aspiration in the world if you know that connectivity is possible without any of it, in any case, and that's where it's at, really.
To come to a satsang is to seek harmony. Harmony, to use your word. It is to know the one that is allowing this dancer to dance. Can you throw out all aspirations? Who are you beyond this capacity to dance? You'll dance in a way you could not possibly imagine when you're no longer identified as a dancer. An aspect of you knows that there is a communion with those others when you dance. You said you called yourself a conduit. A conduit for what? For connectivity with those others. Something deeper has happened than just footsteps. And you feel that. But something in you is saying there's an even deeper position, else you would not have come to a satsang. Heart calls out to heart. Even if you're not fully conscious of why, you've come here. And to come here is to ask the question that all beings will ultimately have to ask. Who am I beyond this form that I see and know? Who am I who is watching me dance? Who is the one who knows of all of your moves? Who watches all of the details of this one? Each dance will be fresh and different. You can never repeat a performance. But the eye of awareness is unchanging. To give up all aspiration, to not mind how this body is going to be used in this life. This is love. This is being a baby in the arms of Mother and saying, do with me what you will. It may very well be that this one is here to serve in the form of a dancer. You have no choice about the fact that you can dance. At the moment a holding on happened, holding on of identification as I am this is what I'm meant to do, and this is how I may serve. A contraction occurs within your brain. You've just limited your potential. The mind has an idea of what it thinks it's here to do. There will be some truth in that, but it's not the whole picture. If I said to you in this moment, how does it feel? to be like a baby, inwardly? Is it possible?
Yes, it's possible.
How does it feel to be that infant?
There's no mind and no history.
No mind and no history. Does this baby have an idea about what it wants to do?
No.
Now dances this baby. The divine dance it should be. It's not you dancing. Now you're letting the parent dance through you, as you. And how instantly you taste that freedom the minute you allow yourself to surrender control. Because that baby has no control.
It's a tough one because there's a lot of kind of there's a lot of structure that is created around the time and space where you dance, and completely dropping that, and interesting proposition.
You see, to be free of your conceptions about life is not to suddenly have no structure. It's like our lovely football game. It doesn't exist without structure. In fact, once you know the rules, and when you're very clear about the rules, then you can be creative, then you can play, be spontaneous within them. They're not a hindrance, quite the opposite. But let this be your discovery. Begin with baby. Taste this baby. And the same for you. When you leave here, don't wait until you dance. Begin to reside as this one, as this little one, in the arms of Mother. Yes, it's tough for the thinking mind. It's okay. But this baby is full creativity. The minute you feel your mind coming up with a but, bring your focus back and inwardly feel that sense of infancy. Let that be your practice for the moment.
Thank you. Thank you.